divided into parts. They have to be in order for me to survive. There's the morning part, so often wished for. Cups of coffee after the kids have left for school. Sunlight, and the pleasant perception that everything is really all right. The enraged monster that broke the dishes and threatened to kill me in the dark hours of last night has receded into the shadows and been replaced by the man I married. Life with an alcoholic can be painful, embarrassing, and very difficult. For Linda, that life needs to change when she finds she must determine a direction for the future of her and her children. The Genie in the Bottle by Rebecca Blackwell. The days progress from morning. 5 o'clock approaches, and I start suffering. Time to come in now, I call to young Terry and Maureen. At 6:30, young Terry asks, "Has Daddy called yet?" It's not the same voice I heard earlier. It's somehow older, and that tight feeling in my stomach, an old and familiar companion in the evenings, begins to grow. At 7, I decide that there's no point in ruining supper for everyone, so I serve the kids and myself as they're trying to shake off the heavy atmosphere. The kids are acting increasingly silly. It's harmless enough, but it gets on my nerves, and I finally holler to stop. I jump at the phone's ring at 5 minutes to 8. It's always like that in the evenings when Terry's out. "It's for you, Mommy. Some lady from the hospital." It turns out to be a nurse from the emergency room of our local hospital. "Terry's here, Linda." "No, he's not badly hurt, but he does have some facial lacerations that he won't let us treat." Her voice sounds odd and embarrassed. "You know, Linda, second opinion and all that. He wants you to come look at them first and okay it." I feel ashamed as I picture what's going on at the hospital. "That's ridiculous, Carol. I haven't got the car. I'd have to get a cab." After I hang up, the significance of not having a car and all its implications hits me at full force. Our car! Just bought 2 months before. What about our car? But then I realize what I'm doing. I'm acting more concerned about the car than I am about Terry. There is a numbness after a while, going through the many brushes of death that are part and parcel of the life of an alcoholic. "She said he was all right, didn't she? He'll wait, by God, just as I've waited so often." At 8:20, Carol calls again, sounding more patient and pressured this time. In the emergency room, Terry's lying on the treatment table. Several gauze sponges on his face soaking up the blood. He's crying and obviously drunk. When he realizes it's me, he grows angry, asking me where in the hell I've been. The young intern and all the nurses seem to be staring, and I find my face growing warm with embarrassment. "I've been telling your husband, Mrs. Connors, that this location needs to be sutured, but he won't listen." "He's right, Terry. Now let him fix the cut." "You would agree with him. You would agree with anything that was against me." That monster that comes out of the bottle in the evening is here, now, in the emergency room. "I'm sorry, Linda. I'm so sorry. I wrecked the car." "Well, I did it again, didn't I? The Waynesboro police found me, walking along the side of the highway. I don't even remember the accident. Linda, I don't even know where the car is." "You were alone, and that's the important thing. Find out about the car tomorrow." "You'd been better off if I'd been killed." He starts crying again, and I know I should say something comforting, but I can't. As I say goodnight, Terry grabs my hand. "God, Linda, you do wish I'd died, don't you?" With remarkable clarity, I realize an unsuspected truth. Tears sting my eyes, but there's a strange peace in acknowledging it. "Yes, Terry, I guess I do wish you died, if you're going to keep drinking this way. What's the difference? That this way you're killing yourself and everyone around you. Slowly." Later, sitting in the darkness of the den, I smoke a cigarette. It's nothing new to me. I've done it 1,000 nights while Terry slept, oblivious to everything, with the help of the genie in the bottle. This is the time for thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow, everything will be all right again. Tomorrow I'll take the kids and leave. The knotty pine walls are warm in the dim light. Terry loves wood. He's a good craftsman. We put these walls up, Terry and I, board by board, turning over the garden in the spring, laughing, walking in the woods, building this house. Must I throw away all the good because of the genie in the bottle? There have been times he's tried to stop, but he just couldn't. Sometimes I think that maybe he's crazy. But more often I wonder if I am. The articles that I read call me and all the other people like me passive, aggressive, and masochistic, but none of them mention the love. If he's sick, would he be less sick if I left him? Maybe he would. The shock just might do the trick. But what if it doesn't? There it is, as plain as the nose on your face. Dummy, there's the gamble. Take the losses and the brief moments of happiness that life with an alcoholic, the one you love, affords you, or go for broke. Pajama-clad young Terry tiptoes into the room. I came down for a drink of water. I wasn't sleeping anyway. Is Daddy okay? Assured that his daddy's fine and will be out of the hospital tomorrow, his face still looks worried. Mommy, you're not going to leave Daddy like you said you would the other night, are you? You said yourself he's sick. Caught off guard, I simply reply, I don't know. Please, Mommy, don't. I'd miss him, and I bet he'd be lonesome too. I have no answers. A smile, my best smile. Don't worry, sweetheart. You go to bed now. I can't think anymore. The dilemma is too much for me. I'll go to sleep now, too. Maybe in the morning, in the sunlight, I'll be able to see things a lot better.
On the morning of April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln lay dying in the bedroom of the cheap lodging house directly across the street from Ford's Theater, where John Wilkes Booth had shot it. As Lincoln lay dying, Secretary Horace Stanton said, "There lies the most perfect ruler of men that the world has ever seen." With this word, Stanton attributed to Lincoln that one thing which we all strive to attain, success. Success is important for personal satisfaction and self-esteem. Today I would like to discuss with you how you can have success in your life, look at the role of failure in attaining success, and finally, share how success helps to shape us as individuals. First, in order to have success in your life, you must set goals. Every bit of human progress, our inventions big and small, our engineering advancements, our medical discoveries, were first visualized goals before they became successes. A goal is an objective, a purpose, but in order for that goal to become a success, it must be worked at and achieved. If a goal is a dream, then success is a dream that has been acted upon. As a phrase I once heard states, the important thing is not where you were or where you are, but where you want to get. I feel that as people, we are all born with a natural instinct that gives us the desire to succeed. If you were to ask any given person what it is they want out of life, success would be a common reply. Setting goals is necessary to achieve this. Success and, unfortunately, failure are part of everyone's life. But is this failure unfortunate? Who we become as mature adults can be credited to the successes and failures we go through as we grow. Whether it is a child taking their first ride down a street on a bike without training wheels, or a surgeon who has just successfully completed open-heart surgery, both had to go through failure. It makes no difference whether the failure was falling off the bike or failing a test at medical school. The final outcomes will serve as accomplishments that will help shape them as individuals. Success is like the coal that fuels the fire. Like the coal, success is what enables us to keep going. Without it, we would slowly quit trying and, in a sense, die out. Personally, I have been fortunate enough to experience different kinds of success. I've had success in academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities. But I also have had my fair share of failure along the road to success. Whether it was staying up nights, baking dozens of batches of cookies, searching for those 3 perfectly shaped ones to take to the county 4-H fair, or countless summer nights of tying my big sister's hair in knots, trying to master the art of French braiding. All were attempts at success, which worry eventually met. Without failure, we could never understand nor truly appreciate exactly what success is. I myself am still faced with failure every day. It would be impossible to count the number of times that I have attempted to water ski and so far, to date, have failed at miserably. But I'm not going to quit trying until the trying is no longer necessary. When the success of water skiing is attained by me, all the bruises, sore muscles, and belly flops will be forgotten, and for one brief moment, I will know that I've accomplished what it is I set out to do, and nothing else will seem to matter. That is, until I decide I want to slalom. Finally, we see that success helps to shape us as individuals. For me, it is being able to show pride in something we have done. It is that which builds confidence and presents us with a higher self-esteem. A famous quote from William Shakespeare said, "We know what we are, but not what we may be." Success is what enables us to become what we may be. It gives us an image, an identity that other people use to perceive us. In a sense, success is who we are as a person. On a more personal level, success may not be that effort that the rest of the world may see. It may be the very important triumph an individual feels when one can finally paint a picture one truly likes while never becoming a great artist. Knowing you can play a musical instrument while never being featured at Carnegie Hall. Or knowing you can water ski while never being featured in an issue of Sports Illustrated. Success, big or small, is important to each and every one of us. As I have already stated, success can be attained by every one of us if we set goals. We also need to remember that failure plays a hard but necessary part in attaining success. And finally, realize that each and every success helps to shape us as individuals. Success is a voice that tells us to keep going. It makes us strive to do better and to better ourselves as a person. It is a ladder that grows longer and higher with each and every accomplishment. It gives us a secure place to stand so that we can move on to the next step. Success is like a quote once made by Archimedes. "Give me a place to stand, and I shall move the earth." When a towering figure like Abraham Lincoln has taken his final bow on the stage of life, it is hard to imagine what it is that gave him such prominence. In the case of Mr. Lincoln, I feel that his law partner probably said it best when he said his ambition was like the little engine that knew no rest.
I had a brother who died of AIDS. Mike was 43 years old. We were so close. My brother is really the only person that I can imagine fully sharing his death with, talking and crying until we healed. And he left me to do it alone. Our separation started before his actual death. I listened to my brother grow sick and weak as he tried to be brave and stoical. I watched my brother age from 43 to 97 in only 12 months. I listened to my brother describe despair and loneliness as I would hold his hand as his children would play upstairs. I raged with helplessness. I ached at the distance between us. He had no idea what it would take to survive without him. But I wasn't going to be the one to tell him. A few weeks before Mike's death, he asked me to take care of his wife, his kids, our father, even our oldest brother, Frank, who I wanted to demand that he asked to take care of me. A Sister's Story by Virginia DeLuca. When Mike was sick, and nobody suspected AIDS, or even considered it, my brother, sick and afraid, talked about dying. He wasn't comforted by the constant protest of all the doctors and nurses, his wife and his friends, who fully believed themselves when they told him to stop worrying. Mike, if you're really sick enough to die, we'll give you a good death. We'll surround you in love and take care of you and give you a good death.
drugged. 2 days later, I talked to Mike.